Xanthophores. Yellow contain yellow pigments in the form of carotenoids, erythrophores. Red contain reddish pigments like carotenoids and pteridine, melanophores. Black/brown contain black and brown pigments like melanins, cyanophores. Blue limited taxonomic range but found in some fish and amphibians. Structural colors. Animals can also display colors due to structural color, which is the result of coherent scattering perceived as iridescence. The structures themselves are colorless. Light typically passes through multiple layers and is reflected multiple times. The multiple reflections compound each other and enhance the colors. Structural color varies depending on the observer's position, while pigments appear the same regardless of the viewing angle. Some examples of animals that exhibit iridescence include mother-of-pearl seashells, fish, and peacocks. These are just a few examples of animals with this characteristic, but it is most prominent in the butterfly family. Iridophores, reflective/iridescent, sometimes referred to as guanophores. They reflect light using crystalline chemichromes made from guanine. Leucophores, reflective white, found in some fish. These utilize crystalline purines, often guanine, to produce a reflective, shiny white color. Plant coloration. The primary function of pigments in plants is photosynthesis, which uses the green pigment chlorophyll along with several red and yellow pigments including porphyrins, carotenoids, anthocyanins, and betalains. Definitions of albinism vary and are inconsistent. While they are clear and precise for humans and other mammals, this is because the majority of mammals have only one pigment, melanin. Many animals have pigments other than melanin, and some also have structural properties like iridescent colors. Some definitions of albinism ignore certain species while including others. For example, a person or animal with very pale skin, white hair or fur, and pink eyes caused by a medical condition that they were born with, and a person or animal with white skin and hair and pink eyes do not include the feathers, scales, or cuticles of birds, fish, or invertebrates, nor do they include plants. Some definitions are too broad, such as an animal or plant with a marked deficiency in pigmentation. Other definitions of albinism encompass most major animal species but exclude several other pigments found in non-mammalian animals as well as structural coloration. For example, absence of the pigment melanin in the eyes, skin, hair, scales, or feathers only refers to the pigment melanin. Due to the different uses of various terms related to coloration, some authors have suggested that the color of the eyes is the defining characteristic of albinism. However, there are multiple forms of albinism, most of which do not result in red or pink pupils. Currently, 7 types of albinism are recognized in humans. The term partial albino is sometimes used in the literature. However, it has been noted that a common misnomer is partial albino. This is not possible since albinism affects the whole plumage of a bird, not just part, and the definition of albinism precludes the possibility of partial albinism, in which a mostly white bird shows some form of melanin pigmentation. It is simply impossible, just like being partially pregnant. Conditions that are commonly referred to as partial albino include neural crest disorders such as piebaldism, Waardenburg syndrome, or other depigmentation conditions like vitiligo. These conditions have fundamentally different causes than the 7 types of oculocutaneous albinism identified in humans and confirmed in some other animals, so the use of the term partial albino is misleading. One definition states that albinism is from the Latin word albus, meaning white.